Good morning, guys. It's Sunday morning, April the 26th. Actually, it's only 2 more minutes until noontime. It's 11:58. I've been trying all morning to get up and get to going and get my shower, but I'm lagging behind this morning. Hold on a second. My grandson just came in. Yes, Issa. I'm making a video, okay?
Okay, but I want to show you a supplies that I made in my bedroom. And Mommy and Daddy already saw it.
You made a surprise in your bedroom?
Yeah, and
Okay.
Mommy and Daddy already saw the supplies. It was for everyone.
Okay,
But
when I
it can't,
finish
but
when I
it
finish
can't
making
rip,
my
so
video.
that's why you can't stand on it. Only I can because it's mine.
Okay. Let me finish making my video and then I'll come look at your supplies.
Okay.
Close the door, please. Thank you. Anyway, I just wanted to talk to y'all this morning about something that's bothering me, and that is my inability to say no. I have found myself back in bed this morning. I am just total beyond exhausted. I don't even know if I can describe it, but let's see. I came out of isolation on Wednesday. And it wasn't because I wanted to tell you the truth, it was because I had to. Because Hassan went back to work on Monday. Jill was off Monday and Tuesday, and then she had to return to work on Wednesday. They have put her back in her home care, which is her normal job, and that is the job that she had taken back in September when I first moved from New Jersey to New York. She was offered a job to work 2 days a week in the field and then every other weekend. So I had been wanting to move to New York anyway, but I knew that I couldn't afford it because the rent is just it's just way over my head. It's the rent is as much as my Social Security check is practically. I mean, even a studio, that is in a bad area and not even a nice studio. They started around 1,200 and up. But Jill had told me, Mom, if you can come help me with the babysitting, that she would pay me. And so I moved up here and everything, and y'all already know that story. I don't think I have to go into it anymore. And got the apartment, which was 1,000 a month, and that was affordable. And Jill has continued to tell me that she will help me, by supplementing my income with babysitting pay. But being a mother and feeling the guilt that I feel from not ever being able to help my daughter when she was putting herself through the CNA school there in Asbury Park and then LPN school. And, you know, during that time of her life, I was still going through the grieving process after my son was killed. And I was in such a state of despair and depression, and I just could barely even take care of myself, and I was in no shape to be able to help my daughter pay for her college. So that's something else I wanted to talk to y'all about. It's just the guilt that you feel as a mother, and what what you try to do to compensate or overcompensate for the guilt and some of the bad decisions that you've made in your life. And so I feel like that's what I'm doing now. I'm really hurting myself now by overcompensating for the guilt that I feel for not doing things that I feel like I should have done as a mother to my daughter after her brother got killed. So because of that, I decided that I would move up here and that I would do the babysitting for her and that I would not charge her anything. And that's the way I want it to be. And I'm trying really hard to keep it that way. But then y'all know that at the end of the year, YouTube changed all of its advertising guidelines and everything. And had to make all these changes to comply with the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, and that has affected my um, advertising, the advertisers that are on my channel. Even though my channel is not for children, it still has affected my income. Therefore, my YouTube income has dropped in half, even less than half of what it was, back in the summer and the fall. Now, I do appreciate y'all watching my um, videos. I really do. But I guess the point I'm trying to make is that I have made promises that I just can't keep anymore. And I don't know if it's because of my age or, I did turn 68 in December, but my health is just not, my physical health is just not as strong as I would love it to be. And then having the COVID-19 virus, it just zapped me of what little bit of energy I did have. Before I got sick with the COVID virus, I was walking and trying to get as much exercise and fresh air and sunshine as I possibly could. Although it wasn't a lot because the winters here in New York are difficult. You can't always get outside and go for a walk because then I would be risking getting the bronchitis and pneumonia and flu. So I was just trying to manage and get through until spring came and I could get back outside and walk and exercise and strengthen my muscles. And then I got sick with the COVID-19 virus. So even though I had the virus and Jill and Husani did, they sacrificed and did what they had to do to take care of the children and keep the children at home and out of daycare. Husani did take the 2 weeks off and so that he could care for me and the children while I recuperated from the virus. But I just feel like I need some more time off. Of course, I went back to babysitting Wednesday. And y'all, I swore I was going to take my pillow and my blanket downstairs and continue to rest while the children play. But of course, that's not possible. Y'all know that you're in the kitchen. You know, Jill did help me. She did cook some eggs and oatmeal and help me with preparing their breakfast before she left for our work. And then some days she would mix up some peanut butter and jelly, and then all I had to do was spread it on the bread for the children. So she did do everything that she could to help me. But still, just, my body, I have really just overexerted my body. Um, and I think some of it has to do with me being weak to begin with, and then the COVID-19 virus did weaken my muscles. I don't know why it affected my muscles unless it affects the weakest part of your body. It is a SARS virus, sudden acute respiratory syndrome. That's what it stands for, and it does affect, your respiratory. And I was very fortunate that I did not get pneumonia from the SARS virus. Um, but anyway, what I'm still suffering with is the weakness in my muscles. Now, I've been reading online about how the SARS virus causes stroke. I don't think I've had a stroke, but it has definitely done something to my muscles. And I was telling y'all on, was it Thursday? Friday, when I did the quick update, that I had put the tiger balm on my neck, and that did help, but it was only temporary. And even this morning, I still can barely, turn my neck. It just feels like a knife is going down my neck muscles and the back of my neck and into my shoulder muscles. It's just like a sharp knife just cutting into my muscles. Um, I'm eating. I've eaten healthier this last 2 and 3 weeks than I've eaten in my whole life. I had blueberries this morning. I had a banana. I'm taking a load of vitamins and eating 3 airborne every day and taking the Symbicort. Um, but what I wanted to talk to you about today is, how can you set boundaries with those that are so close to you and those who are depending on you, and you know that they're depending on you, how do you say no? And how do you just isolate yourself and continue to be able to, like, one day I'll say, no, I can't do this, and then I feel guilty about it, and then the next day I will relent and do whatever I said, no, I can't do. Um, so I'll give you an instance of what happened. So Friday night, Jill planned this date night for her and Husani. Well, that was okay with me. I said, date night? Where in the world are y'all going to go? And she said, oh, we're just going to go in the basement and have a date night, watch a movie, and they have a pool table down there, and it's also that air hockey. You can flip the top of it over from it being a pool table, and then I think it's an air hockey table, and I don't know what all. So she decided that she wanted to have a date night with Husani. I mean, that was okay with me because the children were going to be asleep, right? So I guess about 10 or 11, about 10:30, they put the children in bed and they went down to have their date night. Well, Issa, he knew that something was going on. He knew that they were down in the basement. Well, he wasn't going to have it. He wanted to be in the basement with them. So Jill kept bringing him back upstairs and putting him in bed. And I was in here in my room with the door closed, and it was getting close to 11, 11:30, and I could hear Issa walking around. So they were down there with the music loud and, thinking that Issa was asleep, but I was up here knowing that he wasn't asleep. He had his little flashlight and was wandering around the house in the dark with his flashlight. And he kept coming in here and crying and telling me that Mom and Daddy were in the basement and he wanted to go down there with them. And I told him no, that he could not. And he did sneak down there a couple of times. And so Jill finally locked the basement door. So then I couldn't let this 5-year-old wander around the house in the dark with his little flashlight. So I ended up taking care of Issa until he finally fell asleep at 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, then I had to be up at 8 o'clock when he woke up, and I think he did sleep until about 9. So with him not getting enough sleep, he was irritable all day yesterday and in a bad mood. So, I had to keep going all day Saturday, even though I didn't get much sleep Friday night. I had to babysit the children yesterday and take care of them, and I cooked dinner. I really wanted to film it, but I was just too tired to even try to film it. But Jill had bought these little round, I guess they're called round steaks or something, and there was a big package of them. So I seasoned them up real nicely and browned them in flour and put them in the crock pot. And I made a big skillet of homemade gravy with sauteed an onion in the gravy and cut up several potatoes and carrots and put that in the crock pot. And then I made a big bunch of biscuits, batch of biscuits, which was, I did enjoy cooking, but I was running from the kitchen back into the living room and taking care of the children and changing the baby's diaper and giving her a bottle and rocking her to sleep for her nap and just in and out and up and down the stairs. So, um, it just took every little bit of energy that I had left to do that. So I'm just wondering, what's going to happen this week? How am I going to be able to get enough rest? Am I going to spring back? Hopefully, Husani is supposed to be off this week, but he works in essential services, and his job is very important. I mean, it is what he does in his work is a matter of life, life or death and emergency situations. He does work for a gas company, and a lot of his coworkers are out sick with the COVID virus, or they're out taking care of their family members who have it. And with his type of work, if there's a gas leak, it has to be repaired. You can't let gas leak and take the chance of it an explosion. So even though he is scheduled to be off this week and a skeleton crew is working, he's on call. So Jill is scheduled to work Monday through Friday this week. Um, and they are shorthanded. There's so many of her nurses and the people that are in her office and the ones who go out on the home care visits. A lot of them are out sick with the COVID-19 virus, or either their children are sick, or their caregivers for the children are sick and they have to stay home with the children. So it's just bad for everybody. And I guess I'm just feeling sorry for myself when I should be thinking of others and not feeling so sorry for myself and laying up here in bed at noon. But I guess what I want to hear back from y'all is, how to handle this. How do you be a mother and a caregiver and take care of others when they really need you, but yet take care of yourself? Because I'm at the point now, if I don't start taking better care of myself, I'm not going to be of any use to anyone else. So I'm just hoping that I can learn how to say no and to set boundaries and to just stay in bed if I need to, which is probably what I'm going to do today, which I am hardly ever in bed at 12 noon. But I think it's best for me to just ease up on myself and let my body rest today and just take very good care of myself and um, just pamper myself and try to get well. So I hope that y'all will learn from my lesson and if any of you are feeling sick or if you're already sick, to make sure that you ask for help from your family or friends, that you're not embarrassed to ask for help and that you don't feel guilty for asking for help, and that you can set boundaries and say no whenever it's for your benefit and for your well-being and for your health. So I just want to thank y'all for listening to me today. Yeah, I was checking on my analytics and only to find out that 40% of my views come from people who are unsubscribed to my channel. So I just want to ask you to please hit that subscribe button if if you're one of those 40% just passing through here. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, and hit the notifications bell so when I upload a video, you'll be notified about it. And I just really hope that we all get through this safely and healthy, and we come out better people on the other side of it. So y'all please give me a thumbs up, and y'all just keep on coming back. Bye, guys.